Hey guys, it's your girl Cassy James, and with me here are these amazing personalities in the person of Mr. Drexmiller and Mr. PadreBeatz.
Yeah, when did Padre become an amazing person?
Is it Padre an amazing person? None of you guys here, amazing. My team, my crew, and everything. All right, this is our maiden edition, and this is the first Art Seed podcast, and here are my guest speakers. I remain your one and only host. I would like to ask Mr. PadreBeatz a question. All right. So stay tuned as you get to learn and hear interesting stuffs while we're here. So Mr. Padre, the question is for you. As a music producer, how do you balance staying true to the old school sound while incorporating new technology in your work?
Okay,
Gang.
you know, it's kind of challenging and it's not. It all depends on what comes first. First of all, you see, for me, balancing the old school and the new school, I actually started with the old school, but I started with the mid old school and the beginning of the new school then. So I met few of the old school and I started with the old school, talking about people like the Dr. Dre's or the Michael Jackson sounds, you know, the old school sound. But then, for me, I've been creative. I've been trying to be creative. I've tried to learn what is coming new. I've tried to do what everybody now is doing, and then try to build up on what everybody is doing now. Like, you know, it's just like you purchasing a software, the first edition, and then new editions are coming out. You have to keep upgrading your software and advancing so that you will get the first the newly introduced technology in the software. So for me, I've really tried to balance it because first of all, I improve my software, I improve my workflow, and I get to work with artists who are trying to do the new school. So I don't really have that much problem trying to balance the new school and the old school, even though I still do the old school because a lot of people want to do the old school. But then the new school is much.
Of course.
People who want to do the old school are just doing it for the culture.
Okay. All right. So that's a very nice one. At least we're starting to learn some things and we're getting to know more about the music industry. All right. So the next question is being directed to Drexmiller. Welcome to our edition, Mr. Drex.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
All right. There are questions I would love to ask you, and I want you to give us your view, your answer, and our listeners are there to learn more from what you have to say.
Of course. Yeah.
So, how has the collaboration process changed between producers and artists, and what impact has this had on the final product?
Well, you see, first of all, let me comment on what Padre said.
Okay.
He said it has changed a lot when it comes to old school to new school. Yes.
Okay.
And what I feel like is there isn't much difference between the trend, the trend and the changes that happens.
Funny.
Exactly the same thing that happens with production is similar thing that happens to artists, to the artists.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Now you're talking about collaboration between producers and how has it changed and all these things. Well, there are times where there are moments or times in the music industry where you find producers. Yes, having to like read or study who the artists are. You know, you have people like the Dr. Dre that he said has to study his type of artists. He has to know what they are like to the extent that he would just look at somebody let's say Padre is his artist or something like that. Sorry for using it. But let's assume Padre. It's cool. Yes,
yeah.
let's assume Padre is his artist now.
Yeah.
He would already know what Padre's view musically is. Yes. You understand? He reads his content. He has already studied him, and without Padre saying anything, he will just accomplish Padre's heart's desire when it comes to production and all these things. Well, now we have evolved. Music has evolved in such a way that you find producers, you find people all over the world. You know, people from Nigeria, collaborating with people in Canada. You find people in Canada collaborating with people. Padre here has produced a lot of people in Canada, produced beats for a lot of people in Canada. You understand now? So it has evolved in such a way that it's bringing the world closer. You understand? And now you find producers now expanding their knowledge from their domestic environment to people that are far away from them. You find them exploring, you find them learning. Padre has been someone that has started little, but if you hear his production, it is out of here. Exactly. You understand now? Exactly. So what the collaboration, how it has advanced now is you have the world now in your palm. A simple data, a simple Facebook, a simple WhatsApp, a simple YouTube. You find yourself growing to all lengths of the world and all these things. So I think the collaboration between artists and producers has advanced tremendously in this level because of these things we have. And then if you can never make a good artist if you don't have a good collaboration with your producer.
Yeah. Wow, this is beautiful, and I'm getting to learn new things from both of you, and it's so interesting. So I would like to ask Mr. Padre another question. So Mr. Padre, what are some of the challenges you face when working with artists who grew up on different eras of music? What are the challenges?
Okay.
Artists that just grew up in 60s, and then
Actually, I meet a lot of people like that, especially when you talk about people who are into gospel music currently. Yeah. Because if you look at Plateau State,
that's where the problem is most.
If you look at Plateau State, there's this particular sound they have for
that's peculiar for everybody.
Yes, that's peculiar for everybody. There's this particular sound, this particular reggae sound they do. So it's like this is what they do. You understand? They feel like if you're trying to do the gospel music, like trying to sing the gospel music on an Afrobeat, you're singing to God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. But unfortunately, it's just a sound. It all depends on what you are saying that will now determine if it is secular music or gospel music. So working with people of those like, let me not use the old school, it's going to sound harsh, but like the back people, the people that have started for a while before us, working with them, I've worked with a few, and let me tell you that I just have to. It's a bit challenging because there are tricks. Those producers use, those producers that have been used to that kind of music. There are tricks they use and some particular sound selection they do that maybe I may not have. Okay. So mostly what I do is when somebody calls me or chats me up trying to book a session and says, this is what I do and this is what I want. You know, the industry is vast now. The technology is vast. I can just go online and just, search for those particular kind of songs like 3 or 4 or 5, listen to them, hear what they do. If I don't have their, what do we call packs, sound packs, if I don't have those sound packs, I can just go easily and either buy them online or search for packs that are free downloads, that are purchased downloads. So this is how we go, and we just, sometimes you go on YouTube and you just search for that particular kind of sound they use, and you just see 1 or 2 and you learn from there. So it's a bit challenging, but to me, I can say it's not really that challenging the way other people see it.
Let's assume the guy you're trying to work with now is an old school person, and then he contacts you for the first time and then says he wants to work with you. And how do you know how to satisfy him? Like, how do you know what he wants?
Okay,
will you correct his previous songs?
Most at times, I ask for, like when I chat with people like that, I ask for, can I hear some of your works?
Some of your works, yes.
Or I may ask, what do you want? Like somebody will tell me, I want an Afrobeat. So I will be like, what kind of Afrobeat? Do you want it danceable?
Okay.
Do you want it something, a mid-tempo? There is this thing we call the mid-tempo. Or you want the normal Afrobeat, or I can ask you, do you want the cultural Afrobeat, like that fella kind of Afrobeat?
Okay.
So it goes hand in hand in how you ask and what they can give you. Some people might tell you, oh, I may ask you, do you have any how do I put it? Do you have any sound in your head, in your memory? Do you have any style you want? Some people might even decide to just tell you, they will just use their mouth and make those sounds, either the drum pattern or the keyboard pattern or whatever. So that's how we just evolve and then we push through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, there was something you said and I've never heard something like that. You said packs. Like
packs.
What are packs?
When you talk about packs, you talk about those drum sounds.
When you start going deep into production, producers,
but
you get confused.
Let me
if you explain this in 300 times.
Packs are just like drum sounds, like clap. This clap you hear in sound.
And it's just a clap.
There are packs. There is the hi-hat. There is the kick drum boom.
All right.
So all those are like you gather them different sounds and they put them in a folder. They are called packs. Sound packs, drum packs. Drum, and there are drum loops. Drum loops are just like boom, ka, boom, 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 ka, straightforward, and you can just carry it and use it and build on.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about those people that just come to you as a producer and they just be like, I don't really have a sound. I don't know how to go about it. So what do you do?
I was a victim of similar thing. I think 2007. Before I got into this music production, I had to go to a studio in Dadinko. So during that period, I had to I went to the studio. I was a rapper then. I told the guy I need a beat. He charged me for the beat and asked me, okay, sing the hook, the chorus, so that I will hear and know how to construct the beat for you. I was like, I don't have anything in my head. I just need a beat. So the guy just sat down, and because it was a hip hop something, he knew he was good with hip hop, so he had to just start something. Immediately he started. So
they're flowing.
So for me, what I do is almost similar. I'll just ask you, okay, what do you want? Sometimes I may play you already made. I'll ask you what kind of music, is it Afrobeat or whatever? Then I may decide to just play you, few of my sounds that are similar to what you want. If you're not okay with it, then I can start off something. So once I start, I lay the drums first.
Okay.
That's if it is an Afrobeat. Boom, ka, ka, boom, ka. So I'll just lay that and I'll ask you, are you okay with this? Do you feel this is okay? If you say yes, I'll ask you, is it slow or fast, or you're okay with the tempo, that's the BPM. If you say you're okay with it, then I can start building on the sounds, that's layering the chords, the chord progression. When I'm talking about chord progression, for people who don't understand, it means things like the piano sound. You understand the piano sound, the whatever. So this is how we work with people who don't really have the idea in their head.
Wow, I like that. So interesting. My next question goes to Mr. Drex. So what are some of the key differences between creating music in the old school era versus today's digital age?
Well, seriously, if I'm going to tell you, I know the elements, like the major difference, like majorly the difference between making music then and making music now. If I say I'm going to give you a detailed explanation, then I might be lying.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
But based on what we grew up on, we grew up on will.i.am, Tupac's, the Dr. Biggies, and all these guys. So from the little we heard from them, those are the bedrocks of hip hop. Like especially what I do.
Okay.
And which is hip hop, yes. These guys focus more that time on the content, like music, like what they have to say in the music.
Okay.
They don't give a shit about the kicks, the claps,
actually,
all these things. You understand? They don't really pay their attention there, or the harmony or the melody of the song, how it's going to sound, or whatever it is. They're just focused on talking to the streets and what's going to happen. This is my message, and these are the people I'm trying to talk to. So, but you see, in this very moment, we have people that are, you see, as time goes on, people changes and interest changes.
Yeah.
People too want to hear more than just messages in songs.
Exactly.
We have people now that want to hear a beat and feel satisfied.
Yes.
You understand? So you have the likes of Padres, the drummers, and other people. They will just sit and want to satisfy people through instrumentals. That you don't have this type of things before. A producer will not sit down and say, I want to satisfy the audience because of my... No, they want to satisfy their artist.
Yes.
They want to fit into the message of their artist. But now, producers have much problem. They have much tasks to do. They have to sit and align with the artist. They have to agree. They have to be in unison with the artist and make sure that the audience the artist is trying to go through, that he's trying to pass his message to, they are going to satisfy them from the production. You know, it's not only the artist's job. That's why we have things like trap now existing. You just find someone just mumbling inside trap, and then you find people enjoying it. You understand?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it starts from the production. Then it is the sole duty of the artist, you know, to make music, to put the elements together, and to make people, to give his message to his audience. But now, you know, the producer and the artist must work in unison in order to make the audience satisfied. That's
okay. Well, that's commendable. Really, it is. Thank you so much for your response and everything. So I'd like to ask Mr. Padre another question.
Okay.
I will die. This guy will die.
No, I don't should die now.
Question. If you die today, now question you.
No.
Okay.
It's not going to die.
Take it easy,
all right, Mr. Padre, how has the role of a music producer evolved over time, and what skills are essential for success into this industry?
The industry. What we want to talk about, if we really want to talk about this topic, it's going to be a very broad topic, but I can just
summarize it
and summarize. Okay,
Yes.
I'm talking about that again. You see, the essentials, the basics, those skills you need. For us producers, we just need, even though, you know, in those days, you actually need, for a producer, you actually need the basic of, the, how do I call it? The music theory. You understand? In those days, you need the basics of music theory to be able to become a producer. But in this age, you don't need that. You understand?
Okay.
In this age, computer has evolved, the AI has evolved. You could actually just tell the computer, I want to play on A minor, and anything you play will focus on A minor.
Okay.
And the computer is there, you could edit easily. But in those days, you play
You
like
manually.
as if it was live. You do it manually, so it goes in. So you need the perfect music theory knowledge to be able to make a beat.
Because you do all the work by yourself.
You do all the work by yourself. But in this age, you could actually, and then for artists, I can say for them to actually do this, okay, even the producer part, talking about engineers and producers, we still work hand in hand because I'm a music producer, I'm an engineer, I'm a beat maker. When you talk about doing this, you know, now in those days you have to learn, for artists, you have to work with artists who can sing perfectly on pitch, on key. They have to sing perfectly on key. But these days we have pitch correcting tools. Tools that you could, if you go off key when singing, I could actually bring you live to key, to the actual key. I could actually shift your key to another key, your voice to another key. I could actually make your voice sound like so. I could actually make your voice do this and that. But in those days, we don't have that because it was the analog era. Now it's the digital era. We have all the tools to be able to do whatever it is. So, talking about the skills for now, you don't need more skills like then. You just need to know how to operate a DAW. That's the software. When I say a DAW, DAW, means the digital, analog, whatever. So if you actually want to work with, if you actually want to become a producer, you actually need just the basics of the DAW. That's the software you're going to be using to make music. And then if you know sound in your head, if you just learn how to know when a beat is on key or not, you're good to go. For me, I don't even know how to play the keyboard. That's the piano. But I make R&B beats, I make cultural beats, I make Afropop, hip hop, trap, drill, whatever. I could even do a jazz beat. And I won't go off key. I just need to study the basics of that and then create out of what I studied. And that's all.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice. the world is a global village now.
Sure,
So
actually.
all these things
Everything in
get
your
to be
palm now.
much easier and get done. All right, thank you for that response. Mr. Drex, I would like to ask you another question. How has the rise of streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music affected the way you approach your craft?
Affected my own art a lot. Well, yes, it has affected our art a lot. Not just me. I'm speaking for every artist out there.
Okay.
They bring audience closer to you. But like back then in days, we were talking with you just that time. People sell things in CDs.
In CDs.
Yes, people. You just have to hawk your music, literally.
You have to wait for music from US to take months in the shipping.
Before it reaches there.
They ship it to Nigeria, it's months.
But now you have a
Within a
organized
second.
system. Within a second. It's like an organized system. Like you can just put your works there and you start establishing a whole lot of audience.
And also in those days, people can actually carry your CDs and burn them. And pirate them.
Pirated copies. But now you have
the rights
copyright,
to
you have
everything.
everything.
Okay.
So it has affected a lot about music. Not just me, everybody. I guess I'm speaking for all the artists that are watching this.
Yeah, you're right. All right, thank you. Mr. Padre, I would like to ask you another question.
Okay.
Are you tired already?
No, I'm not tired.
All right.
I'm hitting.
Okay, as a rapper, how do you feel about the current state of lyrical content in mainstream music?
Whoa. I could say, I can say, I feel bad. I still feel happy at the same time. It's a 50-50 thing.
Okay.
You know why? Because lyrics now, there was a song Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Eminem, I think, and 50 Cent did. They said, it's not about the lyrics anymore. It's about a dope beat and a catchy hook. So talking about lyricism right now, lyricism is good. But if you look at it now, people who don't even have the good lyrics are people who are topping charts.
Yes.
Of course.
I guess I'm speaking for almost everybody out there.
Yes,
Yes.
no.
Let's be frank.
Yes, you are.
Let's be frank. Now, you find people who... Okay, let me use Portable for example. I'm not trying to say he doesn't have a good lyrics.
Why are you dragging Portable?
No, I'm not dragging him. Let's say... No, let me come in first. Don't
Alright,
judge me.
alright.
Don't judge me.
All right.
I don't understand Portable. I don't understand Yoruba. But I love Portable's way of singing.
Okay.
It's just... The melody, I just love the melody. So I'm okay with it.
Entertains us. He's entertaining.
So I know, but sometimes I heard somebody was trying to explain some lyrics for me from Portable, and the particular song he was explaining, Portable was saying something very good. It was a good content,
Okay.
but I don't care. Look at Ashake for example. You find people even speaking Yoruba from Ashake's song, but they don't even know what he's saying. They just had to get used to the song. And so when you talk about, if you want to, the only place we talk about lyricism right now is the boom bap. This genre of hip hop music, that's the underground, that's the boom bap. In boom bap, if you don't have that lyrics, you're not going anywhere.
Okay.
Nobody's going to recognize you because that is where you talk about originality of content comes from. If you are doing boom bap and you don't have good lyrics, nobody's going to listen to you. But any other music, you can say whatever you want. Somebody said they were dragging whiskey to that he used to say she say. The video will say chee, you understand? And the music is going. So I don't bother about lyrics, the content about the lyrics. But then I still bother because before you know it, people have started thinking about drugs, that trappy thing, drugs, this, drugs, that. I smoke this, I smoke that, I puff this, and then they are moving. So I'm just kind of 50-50 because I'm worrying for the younger generation because they are getting into something dangerous. But I'm happy again for the younger generation because whether you have the lyrics or not, you're getting money.
Yes, that's right.
Mixed feelings everywhere.
Mixed feelings everywhere. All right, Mr. Drex, I have another one for you. So, as someone who straddles both the old school and new school, what advice would you give to aspiring musicians, like looking to make their mark in the industry? Like,
keep singing.
Okay.
Just keep singing.
Okay.
See, there's a trick I got to discover very recently. It's not about the old school, or it's not about the new school, it's not about how I put it, it's not about. There is a reflex that comes with consistency. You know, if I drop a song every Saturday and I drop rubbish, I just keep saying in the beat throughout the song. And I do it for a year. My audience, I have involuntarily created a fan base for myself to the extent that everybody around me now would be looking forward to Saturday. Even if let's not say looking forward. They know that on Saturday I'll drop rubbish.
Yes.
You understand? So the key now, I feel like what has worked in the old school and is still working in the new school is consistency.
Yeah. Consistency.
You are just saying because there is what we call the algorithm.
Yes,
right now
the algorithm.
One of the key success to algorithm is consistency.
Yes.
Whether with the rubbish or with the good.
If you are consistent,
Just be consistent.
the algorithm will do its work.
There was a song. Sorry, I was just with a Reverend Father the other day and he played the song. I can't actually remember the content of the song. But the guy is from Warri, but he's in US.
Okay.
I guess he's hustling in US and he's making small money. But do you know that song? The song was totally off. The song was off beat. The song was off key. The song was off lyrics. The song was off everything.
That be song be that now.
But do you know that guy? I can bet you that he's making money from that song on YouTube.
Wow.
Because you know what? When I tell you, hey guy, come and play you one song. You laugh. You go one go search him now. You understand?
Yes.
You go one go play for somebody. You go search him. You go one share for Facebook. Listen to this rubbish song. Who is this guy?
Yeah.
You might even want to drag his people and say, Warri people see what I'm
See what
doing.
Yes.
Before you know,
start getting public.
he's making money.
Oh, exactly.
So the algorithm works when you're consistent.
Consistency is key. That's one thing I always say.
Yeah.
It's key. All right. I would like to through the last question, Mr. Padre. Is your last question?
Okay.
And all right. So, do you think that the emphasis on production value has overshadowed the importance of lyrical substance in modern music?
This is a very tricky question.
Very, very tricky question.
Okay.
Very tricky.
Okay. I think I can't really say, but I think it hasn't. Because let's look at the way the music is. Even though, yes, it's because everybody now, somehow, 70% it has. Because artists now are feeling, after all this production, I can do it. I know a lot of artists who have gone to their rooms, took time to learn music production, and came up with a beat. They come to the studio trying to record, and I'll be like, Guy Alpha, who do this beat now? Now me do am. Hey, I'm on this beat not to make I have to. Even though there are good artists that come up with good beats. That's for those who have really, but most of them, they come on and be like, how about now, this beat do not do. Okay. You understand? So, somehow, it's a 50-50 thing still. You understand? It all depends on the area you're coming from.
I think, compared to the old school, where producers don't even care about all they care about is their artists. What she say now is how has the priority that we place on production, on the value of production, has it affected this thing? I think it has to some extent.
It has. Because in those days you hardly find a studio in Jos.
Yes.
Two studios in Jos then. But the N-Hubs and the rest of them.
Right.
But now the studios are everywhere.
It's just
so we don't even bother much of times to actually, some producers, most of us don't even bother to give you what you want. We just want to make the money.
Exactly.
Let's move. Because the moment you tell somebody, Guy, this music thing, let's say you go back, go sit down and do them, he will look for another producer.
Yes.
So you just have to do it and collect because you need the money too. I'm not saying we'll just do rubbish. We too want the quality. We advise artists, but we just have like a stopping point where we don't really need to reach to hit the nail for them because they may get And somebody will come and use your name and say, hey, I remember this producer. Oh, that time I come in produce me. He say, I know Sabi. See, I'm now. I don't blow.
Yeah.
I've heard these things from a lot of these
the reason why I would think the quality of production has not overshadowed the need for quality artists is there are artists just like this guy too.
Yes.
Like Padre too. There are some artists that if you come with some work, you not like to produce it. Okay. Why? Because you care about the quality of the artist. You are putting your input there. You are going to put your input there. Yeah. So you don't want to stress yourself and put quality of production and then him is giving rubbish. You understand now? So it will spoil your name, it will spoil your brand. So I think you go 50-50 just like you said.
Well, it's always good to have a good name.
Yes.
No matter what.
Of course.
So, all right, Mr. Drex, and I have another question for you, and this is the end of our discussion. Okay. After you reply to this one. So, finally, what do you think the future holds for music production and performance, and how can we ensure that the art form continues to evolve while maintaining its integrity?
Yeah, this is a very complicated question. But if I'm going to see what I understand, I feel like it's secret. Music production, I can never sit anywhere and say we have gotten the best, we have already discovered everything about music production. It's a lie.
Okay.
The secret to a beautiful music production is still a secret. That's just the truth.
Okay.
You keep discovering it every day. Ask this guy now. It's just like marriage. Nobody can come and tell you that I did this to my wife and that's why we have a successful marriage.
Yes.
You go and do that to your wife and you answer, you collect.
Definitely.
You understand? So it is peculiar to everybody. So you keep discovering music in production has a lot, especially 20 years ago, we never knew that anything like AI will exist. And now if they tell you that in future AI Pro Max will exist, now you doubt it. I'm just giving it a name. Yes. But something that might be deadlier than AI might emerge. And there's something that you might just sit down and then you not touch anything on the computer and it will produce beats for you.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, you understand? I'm not saying that will happen.
Yes.
But I feel like there is a lot in store for music production and it's going to shape it's going to change the trajectory of music for like in future. That's what I see.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot that I've not discovered.
All right. It was wonderful and bravo. Thank you for having you today.
Thank you
for being my guest speakers. And I still remain your one and only host, Cassy James. We've come to the end of today's podcast. See you next time.
Shall we not ask a question like that?
Create my own dreams, I make my own visions. And if I choose to fail, it's gotta be my own decision. But I'm up to greater heights, I'm on a heaven mission. Until I reach the skies and put my star in right position. I walk through hell, I pass through heavens. And oftentimes it seems I'm the only one in the universe. I've been through the pain, praying the heavens rain. Now success chasing after me, like it's a curse. I'm never talking dreams, cause I make realities. And just like Machiavelli, you bury my fears in cemetery. I know a legend like me is never born by humans. I'm a child of God, now see what God has made me. My past is history, cause I'm walking through the future now. I face my fears with eager, let the glory come around. I always use my gift to justify my prospects. And if I use the mic, niggas use the casket. Homie, I'm about to shine, like it's my light, yeah. I told my mama, don't worry, measure the light, yes. I'm like the highest star, I'm like the galaxy. And every time they grab the mic, all I see is refugees.
Bravo!